Okay, so now we get a little bit of that in the background. And now we can switch over to the man, the myth.
I turned the microphone on and it went off.
It does, yeah. If you press it again, it's on standby. Sometimes we can go check it out. Wes got it. All right, ready when you are. Yes, sir. Just trying to get that music off. Hey.
It's green.
It's on.
It's green. Huh?
You're good now.
It's him, not me.
My fault.
Welcome to the Tuesday meeting of the Rotary Club of Gainesville at the beautiful Cade Museum. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. If you are Zooming, please register at info@rotarygainesville.org. How about now? This is good. I've got it. Thank you. Where was I? Oh. Glad to see all of our Rotarians and their guests. We're especially fond of having guests. And thank you all for coming. Thank you. All right, how's this? That more better? Okay. If you're Zooming, please register at info@rotarygainesville.org. Please silence your cell phones if you haven't already. And now, our old friend, Barrister, not working? Does anybody have Zoom on their phones? There's some kind of interference. Anybody got Zoom on the phone? In another effort to get this meeting going, how's this? Can you hear me? Still can't hear me?
Pilgrim's pride from every mountainside, let freedom ring. And let's pledge allegiance to the flag and have a moment of silence first. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lori Vidal.
Well, I am glad that I will be out of town this weekend and won't be able to see any of the football game this coming weekend. And so I'll be at a boat race in Colorado as a chaplain. So I'm escaping. So let's pray together. It is an encouraging opportunity to be able to pray today after disappointing results Saturday. And we can now focus on the positive test we use to guide our meetings. Thank you for the consistent presence of our club where we can build goodwill and better friendships and be encouraged simply by seeing one another and enjoying our fellowship together. We do set our standard high to strive to embrace those pursuits that are truthful, fair, and beneficial to all concerned. Help us again today to commit ourselves to these elements of our test, and we know you, Father, are pleased that we set our standards high. Strengthen our resolve, I pray, in your holy name. Amen.
Will Rotarians with guests remain standing for introductions?
Hey, can you hear me? All right. Good afternoon, Rotarians. I'm happy to have as my guest today David Flores. David's a longtime friend of mine and also the head of growth at Hemotag, which is a heart failure management system for hospitals. Welcome, David.
President John Thomas will now lead the program.
I didn't realize that we had such a club of audiophiles there. People were really in tune with their ear. But I hope everybody's having a great day. It's wonderful to see everybody here at the Tuesday meeting of our club. Last night we had a board meeting, and part of our board meeting, using our do-goodery funds, we funded the Guatemala Literacy Project for $250, which we have sponsored in the past. We have a lot of upcoming events that you guys are invited to, and you're also allowed to bring guests to those. It's a way to introduce them to Rotary and other things we do besides have our lunches on Tuesday. But the Monday or the Wednesday Club is in charge of dictionaries this year, and they are having their labeling party on September 17th. And I will email the club all the details on that because it's a long list. I also volunteers to take some of those dictionaries to a couple schools, but not too many. But anyway, then we have our all club social coming up on September 18th. It is going to be where World of Beer was, now called the Tavern in Tioga, I believe. But I was there this past Sunday, and they just changed the sign. All the same beer. Also, another announcement, the Monday Club has a very special polio speaker on October 20th. And then the Wednesday Club's Water to Wine fundraiser is on October 24th. And then on the 25th, we have the Butler Plaza car show. So it's going to be a long weekend of Rotary events that we can all attend if we have time and bring guests, as well as the Seafood Spectacular is on 11/6. One more announcement. On October 14th, we're going to have a change of venue. The CADE has a little bit of a conflict, so we're going to be meeting at the Blunt Center. So I'll be reminding everybody about that and let them know the process. But there's plenty of parking as well. Yeah, so. Yeah, so the Blunt Center is just up 6th Avenue, or 6th Street, on the corner of 6th Street and 39th Avenue. It's the largest New Santa Fe campus downtown. So it's Brian University, and I will have more details about that as well. But it's my pleasure to introduce a fellow Rotarian from the most caffeinated club in town. Phil Kabler joins us from CDS Family Health Center and Community Alternative Service Foundation as Chief Executive Officer. He joined in March of 2022. He was an administrator with the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice for 5 years. Additionally, he was CDS Pro Bono Counsel since 1999. Phil, come on up, and thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to see you all. Firstly, I spoke here in 2022, I do believe, but what's really nice is how many people I see that I know, only one of whom I spilled food all over, but I've seen two of my former neighbors, Miss Naomi and Don, and one of our board members who's already been introduced is here, David Flores. So this is CDS's 55th anniversary. We are a longtime legacy not-for-profit. We serve the children, youth, and families in 11 counties in 3 judicial circuits. As you'll find out in a few minutes when my colleague, Ms. Joy, speaks, we have 3 youth shelters. We have a variety of wraparound, meaning supporting programs, counseling, school-based programs. We have 2 new programs. We have a program that ordinarily is for younger children and their families called SNAP. It's not the food stamp program. It's Stop Now and Plan. It's a evidence-based behavioral management program, but we just took on a program where we're going to deal with young probationers under Department of Juvenile Justice Services. And we just got a direct contract with Department of Juvenile Justice in Levy-Gilchrist and Dixie County to do mentoring services. So we've been expanding our services. We have about 110 employees. I'm sure Ms. Joy will tell you, but we do a lot of different things. I want to let her do it. And in a lot of different communities. I'll come back, tell you a little bit more about one of them at the very end, but I'd like to let Joy Cullinan, who is our outreach and safe place specialist, give you the big picture of what we do, and I'll be around afterwards for questions and answers as well. And I'll have a little bit as well at the end of this program. So, Joy?
Sorry about that. I am going to stand in one place. So yes, my name is Joy Cullinan. I am the Outreach and Safe Place Specialist for CDS, and I'll explain a little bit more about Safe Place. But perfect. Magic. So we've got our little presentation for you to give you an overview of our services. We have quite a few. So yes, as Phil said, we've been here we're celebrating our 55th year. We serve 11 North Florida counties. A bit of an overview of our services. Some of you may have heard of Interface Youth Shelter. So it is a residential program for kids ages 10 to 17. They may be having issues such as being unhoused, being kicked out or locked out of their homes, running away or thoughts of running away, issues like truancy, and just general other behavioral issues at home or at school. Sometimes it is seen as kind of a timeout for kids and their parents. I know I probably could have used that when I was a teenager. Another one is our family action counseling. And then as Phil said, we have our SNAP for youth. We have SNAP for boys, SNAP for girls, and soon to be, well, actually our first group starts today for the SNAP for youth justice. And then we also have prevention services throughout several counties. So our short-term residential program is called Interface Youth Shelter. We have shelters in Gainesville, Lake City, and Palatka. The new shelter was just built. I believe it opened in October of last year, somewhere around there. It's given me a, yeah. And it is absolutely beautiful. So it is, again, for those kids who are just struggling at home or at school in some way. These kids get, so again, like ungovernable, so-called, trafficked youth, homeless youth. So they are transported to and from school every day. We make sure they get to school every day. They do their homework. They get homework help if they need it. They get different social skills trainings, life skills, resume building if they're old enough, job interview training, all kinds of things that they will need to take forward with them when they go home. Family Action is another counseling program. It is outpatient, not residential. It's a 12-week program for kids ages 6 to 17. It could be kids that are kind of dealing with the same things that interface kids might be dealing with. So a lot of truancy issues, grades dropping, that sort of thing. This is kind of your traditional counseling and case management program. One thing to mention about Family Action and really all of our services is there is a case management element of all of them. So it is not just counseling, it will also, if they need help, let's say getting some sort of mental health diagnosis, we can refer them out to services that will do that. Okay, so like Phil said, SNAP doesn't stand for the nutrition program, but it stands for Stop Now and Plan. You may be familiar with this kind of triangle. It's how your thoughts or how your feelings influence your thoughts, which influence your actions. This is a cognitive behavioral therapy-based model. It is nationwide and throughout Canada. It's actually a Canadian program that teaches kids kind of emotional regulation, communication skills, anger management, yeah, things like that. Tools that are crucial to take into their home environment and school environment and beyond. I'm gonna go back really quick because the cool thing about SNAP is that the parents are very involved too. So it's a 13-week program. Once a week, they come to our office and they get a free dinner, they get childcare if needed for their other siblings. But really the focus is the kids and the parents. So they have different classes together. It's more of a lesson-based model than like a traditional counseling setting. And sometimes it's cool because sometimes like the kids, you'll hear them go like, okay, mom, you're not using your SNAP. That's a hard thought. That's not a cool thought, mom. So sometimes you'll get that. And then, as Phil mentioned, we have a brand new program. It is actually very new throughout. I believe Florida is the first state to implement it. It is called SNAP for Youth Justice, and it is for youth on probation. So youth ages 12 to 19. And it is, whereas the SNAP under 12 is more of like a lesson-based class, this is very discussion-based. It is meant to facilitate discussion between the youth. So not so much like me standing up here with a microphone lecturing. It is very discussion-based. And then our prevention program is throughout schools in several counties. The Too Good for Drugs program, Too Good for Violence, and Project Success. And then Safe Place is kind of my program that I mostly oversee. Safe Place is somewhere immediate for a child or youth who needs like that immediate help and safety. They could be, it could be something like they're unhoused, they're being trafficked, they are running away, they're having thoughts of running away, they really just need someone to talk to. They may need to enter our services, they may need to go to the shelter or enter family action counseling. They may not. We keep hitting this, sorry. They may, yeah, we will, whatever they need, we will figure out what they need. And Safe Place, you may recognize the Safe Place sign. It's on pretty much every public school in Alachua County, all the libraries, a lot of businesses. And it is that like immediate shelter for a youth who's feeling unsafe. And one way that potential, people who want to get involved could get involved is by having their business or their business location become a safe place. So if you're interested in that, if you have a physical location that is staffed regularly and you're interested in that, definitely let me know. A little bit about eligibility for our programs. The age requirement, of course, each program has a different age requirement. They must not be adjudicated delinquent or dependent. So except for the new SNAP for Youth Justice program, all of our programs, they cannot have DJJ involvement. Screenings are, of course, required. A little bit about last year's data for CDS. We had about 350 kids and youth come through interface youth shelters throughout Gainesville, Lake City, and Palatka. Family action, about 400. About 500 that's prevention. Cool thing is most youth and families complete our programs, about 90%. And I have some data from the Florida network that states that somewhere between, depending on the program, between 89% and 100% of youth who go through programs just like this, including these, do not commit any sort of offense in the next year after they graduate from our programs. So it's a pretty high success rate. A few things about how you can help. Really just get involved, share our posts, come to our events. We have a really fun event coming up Saturday, September 20th. It's called Self-Care at the Fair. It is at Library Partnership Branch, who's a great partner of ours. And yeah, it's gonna be a great time. It's just gonna be a free, fun community event. So that way, you can, of course, become a safe place. And yeah, I think I'll hand it back over to Phil. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you letting me. Awesome.
I do not stand in one space, ever. So what you heard from Joy in some more detail is what we do. We work with children and families in behavioral management space. We don't do mental health services directly. We refer. We have partners, a lot of organizations throughout the counties. We are in the prevention area. We prevent Delinquency, we keep kids out of the juvenile and criminal justice systems. We have substance abuse programs. We keep kids off of drugs and abuse of any alcohol and drugs. And tobacco, we also do likewise with violence preventions. Our goal is family reunification. In the end, if we can keep people together and families communicating, we've won. But from where I sit, I guess, what do they say, the 30,000-foot view? We're a workforce development agency. In the end, if we can get kids back engaged in school and in the communities, ultimately they'll end up in the right place, and well, they'll be Rotarians like the rest of us. So Joy mentioned a program. We have the new Gainesville Interface Youth Shelter. Many of y'all remember on Northwest 13th Street, behind the McDonald's, behind the Checkers. We used to have an older building there. It was built in '55. It served its useful life for us. And thanks to Senator Perry and some other of the legislatures from our area, Speaker Clemens, we got not one, but two legislative allocations to build a new shelter. So, plus our board also had and contributed funds for that. So if you ever go to the airport on what they call the old entrance, that would be the northeast 39th Avenue, State Road 222, just go a quarter mile past to the east, not to the west. You end up in the west, you're going to be in the Federal Warehouse Complex. To the east, we have a new 9,672 square foot shelter. I used to have, like our board member, David, beautiful long brown hair before we started building it, and look at me now. I will tell you, we would be very happy, and we do it all the time. I'm doing it tomorrow afternoon again. Give tours, small group tours, larger group tours. So you all paid $2.2 million towards the $3.5 million. So I'm happy to show you what your tax money bought, that we're making efficient use of it. We're good stewards. So when all is said and done, I've got cards. I'll give them to anybody who wants them. And if you want a tour, contact me and I'll be very happy. I'll do it. I'll give it to you myself. On your tables as well are brochures that describe the full scope of our operations. You can follow up with me or Joy, and we'll tell you anything that you want to know, all 55 years worth. And then finally, many of you I know are business people in a variety of different fields. This is great. This is easy. It costs really almost next to nothing, right? There's a certain cost for a sign or a registration, but it's like under $100, $50 to get the sign. That's all. It's just for that. But after that, it costs nothing. It takes some training. And then what you do is you put the sign up. If a youth feels in distress for any reason, they come, you make them comfortable. You don't have to counsel them. You don't have to talk to them. You call us, and we will come pick them up, and we bring them to our Interface Youth Shelter. And from there, we will do intake with them, and we'll process what they need. It may be with us. It may not be with us. But we are a no closed door agency. If we can't help somebody, we will get them to the right place with our partners. We have a program called SNAP. You know how many calls a day we get about food stamps? A lot. I am sure, as many of you are, I'm the type of CEO who takes out garbage into the dumpsters when it needs to be done because somebody got to do it. I've had on 2 occasions now had adult drug addicts strung out back there. And we don't deal with adults. That's not, we're basically, with the exception of the new program for youth who are on probation, we deal with youth from 6 to 17. That's our sweet spot, particularly in middle school. Do we just let them sit out there? No. I got one of our counselors, and we just help them to get to the right place. It wasn't with us, but we are a no closed door agency. We will help whoever appears. We will help people where we find them. But in the end, we're technically a prevention agency. I like to think of it in the positive way. We're an affirmation agency, meaning, again, we do our job. We're going to be workforce development, and our kids who come through our program and graduate and then can communicate with their families and then can succeed in school and succeed in public activities are going to be sitting here one day, get one of the little pins, and be Rotarians, but productive citizens. As our shelter manager in Gainesville likes to put it, he likes to make sure kids are going to become taxpayers and not tax burdens. So we thank you very much for the time that you've given us to present with you here. I'm really happy because I've seen a lot of people who I know, friends, neighbors, colleagues. This can be just the beginning of the conversation. I'll give you my card if you want to see me afterwards. Call me. I'll come to you. I'll come to your other groups. We will give you tours of the shelter. For anybody who happens to live in Lake City or Palatka, we got other ones there too as well. But we are open. We are open 25/8/367. We're always there for the children, the youth, the families, and the communities of North Florida. So thank you very much.
Hi.
Questions?
I have a quick question because I'm trying to connect the dots and I've been a little out of the loop. CDS stands for what?
CDS. It stands for CDS. It stands for nothing. The name, I was just doing something with the corporate history today. We used to be, for old timers, meaning like me, corner drugstore. Oh, hey.
So
Next door neighbor.
at some point the mission changed because I do remember the corner drugstore. And
When we were
good.
corner drugstore, way back, actually I saw today, back when we were formed in 1970, we were called Crisis and Suicide Intervention. And then we were called Community Crisis Corner. And then we were Corner Drugstore. And then we became CDS in 2007. So I was actually involved a little bit back since I've been involved in various ways since '94, professionally only since 2022. But initially we were dealing with adult student recreational drug users. That's when we had the so-called corner drugstore downtown. People would come in and we would test their recreational pharmaceuticals for safety and purity. And while we were there, try to counsel them and get them off. It morphed. We eventually moved into treatment with of the adults, the students. It expanded as we started to serve youth and prevent them from getting involved. There was a history shift at some point where we swapped funds with Meridian Behavioral Health Care. Now it's called Meridian Health, where we gave them the drug program money we were getting. They gave us the violence and substance abuse prevention funding. So at one point, we got rid of all the adult services except working with families who deal with kids. And now we are purely children, youth, and family directed. The CDS, I just saw the paperwork today because I'm doing something. It just changed in 2007. We don't know what it means. We like to leave it up to people's imagination, what CDS means. But we are CDS, Family and Behavioral Health Services.
Thank
What
you.
else?
It's a great program. I got two quick things. What does SNAP stand for again?
Stop now and plan.
Okay, if I was on your board, the first thing I'd do is make the A an and sign, because there's too many things to think of when you see the word SNAP with the food program. Next thing, are you interested?
About that? Be lovely to do that. It is a franchised program from Canada. to the Florida Network of Youth and Family Services, of which we are a constituent agency, and then sub-franchise to us. So we cannot change a farthing on that. But
Okay,
yes,
that-
I
that's
agree.
good.
That's why we get so many calls a day for food stamp counseling.
And the last thing is, are you interested in hearing from a nonprofit for extra support to your program?
Yes,
I'd be happy to talk to you after.
wonderful. We look forward to support from everybody. We are all children, youth, and families here. So we can all use support, we can all give support, but we are a long-time legacy community organization who apparently no one knows our names.
They want me to stand up. What's the flow of your clientele? In other words, you get a lot of people from the Department of Children and Families, I'm sure, but there's a drug court, there's a juvenile court, there are court intervention programs. Do you get kids from there, and what do you do with them?
The answer is yes. I have to be careful because his wife is the president of my club and he's renovating my house. So I've got to answer everything just right. We get the sources, the referrals basically come from many sources. The bulk, well, they come from the community actually. The shelter, the community counseling program, and even SNAP. They come from the schools. They come from law enforcement. They come from churches. They come from self-referrals. I was at the Lake City shelter one day, because I like to visit the shelters. I do not bring white gloves and check everybody. I just like to say hello. And the door knocked, and it was a mother. Said, I need help with my kid. So there are self-referrals. We've got the standard ways. We've got a phone number. We've got a website, and people make referrals that way. But they come in a variety of ways. Yes, we get some through DCF, more predominantly through Department of Juvenile Justice than DCF, but we certainly work with DCF as well. I mean, our prevention contract, which is in Alachua, Levy, Gilchrist, and Dixie counties, school-based, elementary and middle school, that funding comes from HHS to DCF, to Lutheran Family Services, to us. There's a lot of shifting around. If anybody wants to really sit down for a little bit, I'll tell you our funding streams. We basically have 4. DCF, 2 from the federal government to DCF. We've got DJJ. We've got a federal basic center grant, HHS, to us. It works at 2 of the shelters. And we've got this brand new contract direct with DJJ. And then, of course, we've got private funding, grant funding, organizational funding. And by the way, we are supported. We have been supported by Rotary. I forgot to tell you, the Gainesville shelter that we have, my club, gave us the funds for the, we've got outdoor dining patio tables. They gave us 2 of those. And the next thing really makes me happy is we really try not to be a top-down organization. I could be happy to explain from my old days as an academic, we operate on an inverse pyramid method. An inverse pyramid method where the most important people are the people who work with the kids. The least are management. I mean, please continue to pay me, but we're at the very bottom of that. So we get our kids from a variety of sources. We get our families from a variety of sources. Oh, that's right, my Rotary Club. They sponsored the outdoor patio furniture, and what I really like, what I was going to say, the Gainesville shelter, one of the folks who work with the kids directly said, we need to start a reading program in-house for the kids. So we started, they started, we didn't start it, management didn't. They told us that they started a book club. And so my Rotary Club gave us a grant to buy bookcases and books. So I'm not asking for nothing, but we are always open for support of any different ways. Any of you all can be mentors. Any of you all can come to the shelter and give talks to the kids, to the groups. The kids rotate, because the program for any kid, it's not on a fixed program. Like a kid doesn't start, all the kids don't start like on a semester basis. They come when they come. So they're rotating about every 35 days. And so there's always new groups. If any of you all want to come and talk to the kids in an evening or at your convenience, that's fine. Ron Farb, many of you know Ron, from my club, he used to come and give talks about mountain climbing as a result of a climb for cancer. So if there's any art professionals or anybody who wants to speak to us, to the kids, let me know. There's any number of things you can do. And many of them are non-monetary, just becoming involved. My brother Jacob's going to ask a question.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to start with the last ask. Yes, sign me up. I would love to come and talk to the kids. And
You're
then, many years ago, my wife worked at the CDS. So it's a great organization. So a couple of questions for me is, I see that you say you work with people with disabilities. So talk to us more about that. How does it look? And do you work with SIL? Center for Independent Living. And then final question, I know a friend, a fellow Rotarian here who run United Way, no name here.
I mean,
but,
Amanda's right there.
So I saw that you say United Way is one of the partners. So how do you guys work in terms of support? And
Okay, firstly, working with disabilities, that's not really what we do. We accommodate youth with disabilities. We work with youth who show up to us. There are some certain exceptions that we can. If they have severe mental health issues, certain types of behavior like arson and such, we can't work with those kids for the safety of everybody involved. We can take 20 kids at the Gainesville shelter. What was the second? Oh, United Ways. We do it differently. Right now with United Way North Central Florida, we're a community partner. Sometimes we're funded, sometimes we're not, but we're always concerned and we're always involved, and we always run a campaign. But we're also involved with United Way of Swanee Valley and also United Way of St. John and Putnam County, and we are getting grants for those two. Their grants are going to their the shelters. St. John's and Putnam go to the Putnam shelter, the Palatka shelter. Swanee Valley is going to the Lake City shelter. But we have a long history. Actually, if you come to take a look in our storage room, if you recall, United Way here a year ago got, I'm talking pallet loads from trucks of surplus, bless you, sanitation and cleaning supplies. And so we got a whole lot, and we've been using them at our programs. So we work with, if they ask us if we need help, we answer. We will be grant funded, but we also have campaigns supporting it. Oh, one more. That's up to John. Mm-hmm. But that would probably be the SNAP food program, which, as he said, it can be a little confusing. I agree. I can't change the name. It's a franchise. I mean, you can't change McDonald's if you don't like their name. I can't change the SNAP. I agree. I concur. It is confusing, but again, we are a no closed door agency. So if, I know he's from Harvard and he's probably not in our area, but if we get a referral for someone who needs SNAP food stamp services, we'll get them to the right place. It's not what we do, but we'll get them to the right place. So thanks for the questions. I'll stick around for a little while longer.
Sir, stay up here for just a second. Phil. Well, thank you very much for speaking with us. And in recognition of that, we are going to make a donation to the Rotary Foundation in your name.
Thank you.
Sorry, Joy, I didn't know it was a tag team issue. I would have printed out 2 of those for everybody. But just really quick, you know, there's a lot of people out there that know about Rotary, but they don't really know about Rotary. I had a server last night at our board meeting before everybody got there, asked about the Rotary Clubs. Like, I've heard of it. And I kind of gave him my 30-second elevator speech about everything that we do in the community here, locally and internationally. He was kind of blown away, and there's a lot of people like that. And so next week would be a great opportunity for you to invite somebody to come as your guest, our guest, to listen to our speaker, John Rhyme, with the Alachua School Civics Challenge. And I'd also like to say that our membership committee has been doing a great job. I'd like to recognize Rebecca and Richard and Helen and everybody else on that committee. And they've been putting in a lot of hard work trying to bring in some new Rotarians for us. The quote of the week is, "The youth is the hope of our future," Jose Rizal. And the winning number for the Rotary Reading Safari is 675-675.
Yeah, I was off by 70.